Hello, Taurus. It's Lynn from Tinker Tarot. I'm here to do, and Cartomancy. I always forget that. I'm here to do your August 2025 reading. Um, I am doing you next because someone wrote to me, and it just made me think of them. And so I thought, well, Taurus is on my mind. I'm going to do Taurus. That's just the way it goes with this stuff. But I do want to make an announcement before I start. So I started a full-time job, or I start on the 25th of August. And so it's just going to be very difficult for me to do all of these at one time. So what I'm going to try and do is do 3 videos a week. And so I'll pick an element, I'll do all the air one week and all the fire another week or something like that. So I can pace it out through the months and because you got to balance your energy, you know what I mean? And you want to be fresh, you want to be awake, positive when you're doing this stuff. So I just want to make it the best presentation I can make, and I think that's to spread my energy out that way. So on with your video. Okay, so one jumped out with for you is the Prince of Wands. The Prince of Wands is, they have a goal in mind. They have an idea that, and this is you, Taurus, you have a new idea or an idea that's been cooking around for a little while. And you want to take action on it at this time. So if you're not already doing it, you're making the plan to take an action. And the thing with the Prince of Wands is once he thinks it or once he speaks it, it's put into action almost immediately. They don't wait around and, him and Han, teeter and totter, they go. It's go time. So this is very high energy, a lot of manifesting and things to put this into motion. And the knight always gets his goal. He goes after it until he achieves it. So he's very determined, very headstrong kind of thing. Youthful energy, like that youthful energy that they have that you don't seem to when you're older. But anyway, you do for this idea. And it's kind of like you may have thought of it before, considered it before, but all of a sudden now is the time. You're ready. You're ready to do it, okay? And this really reflects in your reading here. I'm going to pull the camera down a little bit so you can see all the cards there. You don't need to see me that much. So to start with, you have the Ten of Wands, the Death card, and the Nine of Swords to begin with. And so I can see that there's something that you're ending. I get the feeling, and it may be for some of you, maybe not, that you might have been taking care of somebody. There might be someone that you've been, oh, I have to be able to see you. It's driving me cuckoo. It almost looks like caring for somebody. Also looks like that you've been spending a lot of time alone, perhaps, feeling isolated in some way. And also the stuff going on in your head, how you're tormenting yourself, how you're afraid of something or intimidated by something. Um, and it could be because of a physical limitation. You might feel like you're physically limited. You might feel like, you're up against the odds, okay? But you get to a point here, I think, where you realize you just got to let something go. You just got to leave it behind, take a chance, turn your back on it. And that's what happens with these two cards. The Ten of Wands, this person, it's either you're done with it or you're exhausted. You can't do it anymore. You have to lay it down, okay? And then the death card is this old person. He's been up in this tower forever by himself, just fine, just doing fine, but miserable, not happy. And that's the other thing. You could be miserable doing what you're doing. And so he can see where he wants to be out here, out through the window. see that there's this sanctuary, this oasis, this dream, this idea that he wants to, but he merely needs to just come down the steps and start walking toward that. Something holds us back, right? This is in the past. Something was holding you back. You just somehow couldn't move toward it because there's something in your head telling you you can't. You either have an obligation or feel like you have an obligation to someone, you can't leave them. So there's all the either guilt, fear, lack of confidence, something here that you're telling yourself. Okay, it's not necessarily true, but you've been telling yourself that, but you're ready to make a move now. Okay, in August you're getting ready to heal for one thing and make a move. So the um the high priestess tells you that even though you have to let this end, this whatever you're doing or whatever you've been engaged with or felt a commitment to, and you want to leave it, the high priestess is telling you you're right. Trust your instincts. It's time to move on. It's time for change. Okay. So, and even the planetary action right now, if you look up some astrology videos, you'll see planetary action is telling you, and it's an 8, right? An 8 is we revolve around this cycle, and now we're going to revolve around this cycle. It's change and it's balance. You can only stay kind of in one way for so long. If you don't change, life will change it for you. And then here in the death card and the two of wands, they're both looking out to what else is out there for them. They're in the two, you are planning, you're thinking about what you want to do, where you want to do it, how you're going to do it. And in the death, it's simply leaving it behind. It's just a choice, this way or that. You have to pick a road. Okay. And then you have this change of attitude where you're like, why not give it a shot? It couldn't be any worse than what's here. I've got to do something, make a move. And so you're really thinking, planning at that stage of what you're going to do, where you're going to do it. So you're getting ready. And then in the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands, two nines here. So in one, you're in your head, like I said, and doubting yourself or fearing something or having anxiety about it. And in the Knight of Wands, it's kind of gets to this point where you say, I've had enough. I'm sick of people pushing me around or making me feel guilty. And not that you're really blaming, but you're not willing to accept it anymore either, or the whole load. Okay, so this is where in the Nine of Wands, where you kind of start standing your ground, sticking up for yourself, not being a victim, not saying, oh, I can't, and oh, you're like, no, you're not, and I worked for this and I'm keeping this, or you're really standing up for yourself and having some pride and some confidence. So you're changing, and your instincts are telling you this is the right time for this. Okay, even though inside you might still be having some doubt and wonder if you're doing the right thing and everything, at least you're at the table now. You're at the table and saying what's going on. So in the present, you have the Wheel of Fortune. This is like really good. Okay. The Star, and then the King of Wands. Okay. And I can see that you're maturing through this experience. You're evolving, I should say, and you're changing because you've learned something. It's finally gotten in, and you're absorbed it, and you understand it, and you accept it, right? You accept it. So the wheel is when you come out of the cave, the death is up here, and the wheel is when you come out of the cave. What number is that anyway? Yeah. Yeah, this comes after death. And you're ready to make a new plan. She's drawing a new wheel here and putting herself in it and where she wants to be and where everything is, and she's making a new plan, and she's ready to expand. She's ready to do more. And I noticed that like the blue in the blanket here of the Nine of Swords is very dark blue, very deep, and the blue in her skirt is lighter, it's brighter, it's more earthy, more grounded. Her colors that she's wearing are very grounded colors, even her hair. So you're feeling more grounded. You're feeling like it's time. And that's a 10 and a 10. Two tens here. Okay. Then with the star, which is interesting because you're healing, you're being kind to yourself, you're filtering out some of the garbage in your mind and your life and your whatever isn't making you happy, basically. Okay, because she also, oops, it's over here, she also can see a sanctuary. Look how much closer you are to that sanctuary than what you were in the death card. The death card, it was far away, but in the star, it's right there behind you. And so you're just cleaning the dirty water, the murky water, so that you're able to see clearly because you're trying to clear your mind, I think. I think there's other things in life you have a handle on, but it's in your head, what your how your calculations aren't, you're not using the right math because you're pitting it all against yourself, and you need to be fair in life, even to ourselves. So I can see that you're healing, you're changing, you're like so close to the sanctuary, which is our happiness, our peace, our peace. And then the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is mature, confident now, knows who he is, and is ready to take action when it's worth his while. See, with the king, we don't feel we have to jump on things and react. The king decides, okay? Decides. Is that something I really want to do? Is it going to make me feel passionate and happy and excited? If it isn't, I'm not interested, you know? So, and he has this huge wand. It's really long, thick, and it shows all his experience and his knowledge and his talents, skills, and shows. And so now you appreciate about yourself. And it's such a huge change from not thinking you had anything to contribute back here. Big change, okay? And this is going to be a big switch for you. And I think it's once you're ready to walk away from whatever you're committed to or feel responsible to or something that you're not enjoying, all right? So a big change. So along with that is the Knight of Rods, the Queen of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. This is in the Morgan Greer cards, these little cards. The bigger cards is the Druidcraft Tarot. So Knight of Rods, this is the second time you've gotten Knight of Rods, and it's with the Wheel of Fortune. So ready to take action on the new plan. The Knight of Rods gets a goal. This is the goal you're making here, and he moves forward with it. He goes for it. He starts making calls, looking things up on the internet. He starts talking and networking to people. It's not just one angle. You're using all the angles. Because the old you, the stuff that you know and are good at is going to come to the surface now, because you're saying, well, at first you're back here, you're saying, oh, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. And here you're like, I know exactly how to do that. I've done this a million times. So, and then the Star and the Queen of Swords. So interesting enough, the Star is usually Aquarius, and we have the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords is also air energy. This is using our mental capacity. So I can see here you've matured a little bit in the Queen of Swords. You're getting control of your mind, okay? Now, you might seem a little serious, a little cold, because you're not used to that self. You're used to being the yes person and just doing what everybody wanted because you wanted to be a people pleaser. But now you're being a self pleaser, okay? And not to say that you still don't help people are kind, but you think about it. You just don't say yes right away. You think about it, consider it, and also are protecting your heart. This woman is honest, straightforward, wants the facts. She is intelligent and thinks about all of the aspects of it before making a decision. Okay. And then the King of Wands with the Eight of Pentacles. Like I said, the King of Wands is confident, has like a ton of skills, is great at manifesting and creativity and passion. And once he takes something on, too, he's very passionate about it. And here, this Eight of Pentacles is very focused, okay? Is very hardworking, working and working until the job is done. And is very passionate and focused on making a perfect product, okay? So this is putting the time in and getting the reward out, because look at all the pentacles here. It is, I can see that you're really focused into this because that's really something you wanted, or, and in some ways, I think some of you didn't think you could get it or have it, and then as soon as you put your mind to it, it just happens just like that, you know. So near the end of August, you have King of Swords, Knight of Swords. So this is very direct energy. This is very honest energy. This is talking about the facts. They don't want to hear he said, she said. They don't want to hear, oh, I saw it on the internet. They want facts. They want, before they're able to move forward in the conversation, in the decisions, in whatever is going on, they need to have the information. They need to see it before them, kind of thing. Paperwork, it could be a lawyer, even a doctor. um, but this is, again, a knight with the king. So the knight is about the action. So taking action. It could be signing documents. It could be creating documents. It could be making sure that you understand everything that's going on in it. This is really what you want to have a um, be really informed about what you're making moves on, because you want all the information. You want to be able to make a strategy in some way because you want to move forward on it. The knights move forward. Okay. They're very, the King of Swords combined with the Knight of Swords, like the Knight of Swords is really intelligent. They think quick. They're very quick. Okay. And you might have this very quick mind, quick thinking energy, and you just don't sort of half-ass something. You really dig in. Then you have the Strength. Okay, so the King of Swords, Strength, and the Five of Swords. So there's something, could be something confusing, miscommunication. I'm finding that's probably why you're asking more questions and trying to find out more. But I feel like there's some sort of miscommunication, something that might be hurting you in around your friends, your family, your work, even. Um, and it's saying that you need to have strength and composure. You need to handle something with grace. It's careful control, careful control. So when we try and control everything and manipulate it, it can fall through our fingers, or people just won't go for it when they're talked to a certain way or demanding or anything like that. So it's not going at something full force. It's gently, negotiating and really looking at the situation, because there's more than what meets the eye in this situation, right? And that's that King of Swords. There's more than what meets the eye. And the King of Swords is really thoroughly looking to see exactly what's going on. Like a judge, a judge has to consider all situations and all parts of it to make a decision, right? And this is about something that I think has hurt your feelings in some way. Someone could have hurt you, attacked you verbally, maybe misinformed you. You know, there could be some ill intention behind it. And I say that because the Five of Swords is here with the moon. Now, I'm going to tell you the moon is going to mess with your head, so be careful. And it's a full moon right now, actually. The moon can make you misinterpret what someone's saying to you, or how they're talking to you, or the information that you're getting. It can make them misinterpret what you're trying to say if you're not detailed enough explaining something. But see, with this strength card, I said it's very careful control, almost gentle control, gentle help, because in the Five of Swords, someone's trying to be the boss. Someone's trying to say how it is, and they're going to direct it, and this is the way it's going to be. And the other person is like, you know what? I'm just not interested if it's going to be like that. I want to be a partner with you. I want to help you, but I don't want to be treated like someone feels mistreated. And this could be you or the other person. And I think it could be confusion, the way it was delivered or heard. The moon can really mess with our minds at this time. You would be best not to communicate, like take a break. Sometimes we need to take a break from people because it may not be intended for us. They may be just be having a breakdown. And you know, ever since COVID, I think people have been falling apart a little bit from time to time with things. It's not, we're not as strong, you know, I find. And it's a bit harder to deal with some things. And but if we keep some things in mind, it might help. So when it's a full moon or a new moon, be careful of your energy. Be careful how you receive things. Like if someone says something, don't take it to heart. It's a new moon right now. People are upset, you know, things like that. So take these things into consideration, because a lot of it depends on our reaction. And sometimes a lot of it depends on our reaction. And what I mean by that second part is you're also standing up for yourself here. Like I said, you're not just a yes person or being told or being talked to in such a way. And I think you've done some focusing on changing yourself and realizing your skills and your worth. And so down here, if someone is trying to play some sort of a game or think they're going to run your life or something, whatever the situation is, you're going to say nope, and you're just going to take a break, or you may maybe even walk away for good. I don't know, but it's over some sort of communication. And so I think it might be hard for you to do. It's not what you want, but it kind of leaves you with no choice. You're kind of drawing your line and saying, okay, enough's enough. I'm not doing this anymore, you know? So this is really good for you. It's really positive. It's you needed this, you know, you needed it. So let's see what the cartomancy has to say. I've already shuffled and cut them and everything, but I don't deal them out because my elbows always hit them and they fall on the floor, and so it's just easier this way. So I make 7 piles, and I go around until there's 3 cards in each pile. And then I turn them over one at a time, and I try to remember to look at it as a whole. But sometimes the story gets away on me. So 3 of hearts, 2 of diamonds, Jack of diamonds. So 3 of hearts is you and only you. So you might be okay, there's two versions because there's a lot of you out there. So someone could be acting very selfish and only thinking about themselves, and you could be having a business meeting here with this person. You receive some sort of communication, or also there could be a financial deal, like something financially, and so there's communication, or there's signing documents, or at least meeting about this partnership here. All right. Now the other angle on that is that you're finally thinking of yourself, of your own interest, trying to take care of yourself. Not that you're denying someone, but you're taking care of your needs first. And then if you have some left, here's what I can do. Someone once told me, what they say, tell me to say, they said, instead of saying no, because sometimes it's really hard to say no, saying, well, I can't right now, but maybe on Tuesday or tomorrow night or something. And so people want it right now, though. They want it right now. And so they'll say yes to Tuesday or tomorrow, but they'll get on the phone and start calling other people because they're trying to find the right now person. They want it right now. And usually you don't have to actually do it because they've moved on. So that was really helpful to me because I had a hard time saying no to people. I was also a yes person. So I could say, I can't right now. So it's not a no. It's just that I can't do it right now. So anyway, so this could be the situation for you here. You're considering yourself, your own time and needs, and you're not just going to drop everything you're doing for people all the time. Standing your ground in a kind way. Coming in about well, maybe this weekend, maybe next week, you have the Four of Clubs, the King of Spades, and the Queen of Spades. Okay, this could be a couple. They could be brother and sister. This King of Queen and Spades look kind of like a couple to me. Usually the king and queen of spades are single, not by choice, separated, widowed, or divorced. But in this case, they could be a couple here, I'm seeing, okay? Um, there is some sort of doubt going on here, either with this couple or between you and this couple. You might feel over like two against one kind of thing. And you could have doubt about moving forward with these two people. Okay, you're not sure what to do. Like I said, there's old things in your head pulling at you saying you owe something, but I don't think you do. I think you've really given and tried to be a good person, all this, but it's become too much in some way. And so you may change the direction. They also could have some doubt going on in their relationship, these two. And so there could be, you know, um, one person not really invested. Okay. This couple could have been together for 4 years, or you could have been partnering with this couple for 4 years. But I feel like could have even been 4 months, but I feel like you're not sure about how you want to go on. Above you, you have the 10 of diamonds, the 7 of hearts, and the 9 of hearts. Whoa, 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 whoa. So this is the wish card, okay? This means that there's some sort of success, money, um, success in some way. What you're thinking, what you're wanting to do, the way you want to move forward, because you are looking at other people, envying them and their lives and their happiness, and it's what you want, but now you're going to emulate them. You know how we live by example, or some people are our role models. We really look up to them of what they've accomplished, or how they live or something. And so this is where you're looking for your own fulfillment. You're ready to take that step now. Okay. Very, very nice. Some of it is more financial. You need more money, and so you're going to work toward that. We have the Ace of Clubs, the Seven of Spades, and the Five of Clubs. So I think these are happy tears. You have tears here, but I see an offer for something new, an opportunity for something new. The Ace of Clubs sometimes is about the home, so it could be about where you're living, but it's also about new creative or work opportunity, a job offer perhaps, and it is in your work pile. There's something that makes you cry, makes you happy, and then the Five of Clubs shows an expansion in work. It's a gain. You're gaining something here, and it's I think you're gaining skills too at whatever you're doing here. It could be different, not new, but maybe different somehow than how you did it before, where you did it before, something like that. Um, these tears also could be because you're leaving that other thing behind that even though you're finished with, you still have emotional ties to it. Um, and but this is all really good. It's very grounded energy. This is definitely a gain for you, either where you live or work, a new opportunity for change. How others see you or are influencing you. So it's interesting because you got all these tens here and the Wheel of Fortune, and here you're getting all the aces. Okay. So what's this? Eight of clubs. So work talk. Yeah, there could be a new contract. Ace of diamonds, I quite often see as a contract, a letter, something like that. And it's something you were wishing for. You were hoping for a commitment, like you want some sort of guarantee security, perhaps. And so this is job talk, this is negotiation. So you could be negotiating a contract. Maybe you're getting more than what you think. And it may not all be money, it may be advantages or health perks, things that are expensive to pay for. So there could be perks involved in this that you're negotiating for in this contract. The contract also could be like a mortgage, um, rental agreement. I don't know. It could be in your job, what you're doing. But and that's a sign of confidence. You're saying, well, geez, I got 10 years experience in that. I don't want minimum wage, you know? So in the foundation, yeah, I feel like there could have been some sort of health problem you encountered with the thing you were doing in the past. Somehow you got carpal tunnel from making little tiny movements, or you got a bad back or something like that in what you were doing, or it was just mentally too draining in some way. And anyway, um so you I think you wanted to leave that, and when you did, oh boy, did it ever change how you were feeling, your health, your relationships, how you communicated. Like, it was the biggest change you needed, even though you feared doing it. You knew it was the right thing. All right. It also is some sort of loss here. Now, part of me wonders, you could have to give up because I feel like there's something emotional tied to what you were doing. You could have been doing it for family or friends. So I feel like there was some sort of emotional tie. So at the same time, there's a loss for you when you have to leave that, but you have to, right? But it's definitely an improvement for you. But I feel like there's some sort of, could be regret or just feeling bad that you gotta go, you gotta give it up, even though you know it's the best thing for you. And the surprise is the Eight of Spades, the Jack of Spades, and the Ace of Hearts, which is a very interesting combination. So I'm going to tell you right here, there are words. You're having words with this Jack of Spades. Also, any of these people could be you, Taurus, okay? So you're having words with this Jack of Spades, or they're having it with you. Someone either is standing up for themselves and saying, I don't think so, or they're telling the other person, get your shit together because I'm not putting up with it anymore. I'm not cleaning up all your messes. Smarten up. You know, it's taking a stand in some way, standing up for oneself, like, so kind of having it out. But it ends in the Ace of Hearts. Have a feeling it's family. It could be one of your kids or relatives. Could be someone you look up to, perhaps. I don't know, but someone's trying to get away with something here, telling you what for, and you telling them what is right back, saying, "Excuse me, no." And I think this is going to work out better than what you expect when it first happens. And I think that's the surprise about this is a new relationship begins. The other thing is someone could be pregnant and maybe too young to do so. You know, they're too young to be having a kid, and you're thinking, God, I'm going to end up taking care of my kid's kid. What? So I don't know. There's something could be different for some of you out there than others. I like to see this heart. This is also new home, not just new baby. It's represents the home as well, but there's needs to be some improvement here, and so someone stands up to the other finally, and because this person is in trouble, causing trouble, not doing anything to help themselves or something like that, and you're saying enough is enough, okay? And this makes things better. It's just going to show small change at first, but it's a new beginning is what it is. It's a new beginning. Um, Maybe where that's where some of this doubt is back there, doubting your job, that parents, maybe you got parents that are very cold, they're not emotional, they're just, I don't know. But I feel like love is coming into your life. Love, happiness, and peace. You're going after what makes you happy, not what you think you should be doing, not what you're told you should be doing. And I think you've had just about enough of that being told. Oops, see, I knocked these down. Anyhow, Taurus, let me know what you think. Next month, your video will be like I'll try to announce in just sort of a post of which week I'm doing which elements, which signs, and then we'll get her done somehow. All right, have a really nice August. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's our last month of summer. Oh my God, I'm just having fun going kayaking and motorbiking, and it's almost over again. But the beginning of fall, my favorite season. I love fall. We've been having a heat wave here like all summer long, 2 months and barely a drop of rain. So it's so dry. If you threw a cigarette down, you'd probably start a forest fire. Like it's so dry here. So we're all praying for rain right now. So I'm looking to that fall season. Anyway, sorry to jabber on. Love you so much, Taurus. Bye now.